Got a plan of attack?
I'm going to start on the variants and move on to the consumer stuff once he's on the ropes.
What, 2 on the ropes? We still have to have the button pressed, Adrian.
Not if he chooses not to. The only one who can stop the experiment is Magnus. It's still a free country.
And what will we fill the rest of the schedule with tonight?
That's Kenneth's problem. He'll think of something. He's nothing if not creative.
Well, I'd like to keep his creativity away from my employment contract, if that's okay.
When you hire Adrian Atkinson Blimey, you know what you're getting.
It's a popular science piece.
And what you're getting is a skilled dissection.
Adrian, this is not Incissors.
Certainly looks like Incissors. I mean, this is the Incissors studio, isn't it? And, oh yes, this is definitely my background. Look, it's got Incissors written on it. Oh, and there's my face.
You are dreadful at sarcasm.
But excellent at journalism.
10 seconds, everybody. You can bark, but you can't bite.
Keep it smart, everyone.
In 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. Tonight on Channel 1, we'll be dedicating most of the schedule to an innovative experiment. Dr. Charles Magnus and his sagacious collective claim their Euphoria device, this contraption you see right here, will make all of us more convivial, including you. Is that credible or even ethical? Tonight, with the help of you, our discerning viewers, we are all going to find out. I'm Adrian Atkinson Blimey, your host for an evening of experimental harmonic science. Welcome back. In just a few minutes, this singular machine will be activated, marking the inaugural investigation into emotional resonance. But before we switch it on, let's dig our teeth in. Dr. Charles Magnus, you are the head of the self-styled Happiness Collective and the inventor of this fascinating emitter.
Yes, that's correct. Good evening. And this is my assistant.
Chester Mims, 24. It says here that your favourite numbers are 5 minus 800 and the square root of -1.
Yes, that's right.
If I understand it correctly, gentlemen, and I should imagine that I do, your device's frequency should raise the vibrational state of all conscious life until we attain a frequency that your experiments have demonstrated represents happiness.
Yes, that's right.
That's the theorized outcome.
But of course, it's not just felicitousness, is it? Other frequencies could also be targeted by the same technology.
Well, yes, theoretically, but why would you want to do that?
Maybe that's a question for someone else?
I'm not an ethicist.
Mr. Mims, this device is rather large and cumbersome, and what we see here is only part of it, I believe, as the relay has had to be hardwired into the power conduits in our broadcast room. Am I correct?
Well, of course, this is the first iteration. Let's not forget that the earliest computers required huge rooms to house them. And over time, they've become able to fit on just a moderately large desk. We'd imagine that in the future, further iterations would be much more portable and personal use.
Yes, we can perceive a world where people can choose to alter their emotions whenever they want and whatever they want to feel.
Domestic devices? Emanating on a room-sized scale?
Yes, at first, yes. Eventually portable, perhaps even pocket-sized. I mean, just imagine the possibilities.
Yes, I am. I'm thinking of the possibility of inviting a female guest back to my emotionally controlled room and setting my home device to induce lust in her. Of the rebellious teenager who takes his to school set for anger. The offices set for fear, compliance.
But Why would anybody in their right mind want to do that?
Why does humanity do any of its evil?
Again,
Oh, Christ, sorry I'm late. Fucking day to school.
It was your policy, Henry.
I know, but I fucking hate children. They give me a headache. You know, I only had my two for the publicity shots.
Well, they are very photogenic.
Yes. Who are we on with today?
Atkinson Blimey.
Oh, no, that fucker bollocks. I haven't read the brief.
Leave it with me. I have.
5 seconds, Prime Ministers.
Oh, fuck. How's my hair?
The usual.
Oh, fuck.
Loud and clear, Adrian. What an exciting evening. When we formed a coalition, one of the first pieces of common ground we planted our mutual flags on was the importance of supporting our science and technology industries.
After all, what's the point in all that superior education we're providing if there's no jobs at the other end of it?
Dr. Magnus and his team impressed us with the simple, well-intentioned nature of their project. Everyone happier. How could we not fund that? It is, after all, one of the 4 basic requirements of a government.
And all this experimental technology was funded by the government?
Well, yes. I mean, we've invested record sums in funding the science and the
So I assume you own the resultant technology?
Well, not us, Adrian. The public own this incredible technology. It was, after all, their taxes that paid for it.
But the public don't have the capacity to alter the device, do they? Or to make other devices?
Well, what sort of other devices?
That's an excellent question. Let's chew on it for a while.
Must we?
In 1518, the residents of the city of Strosnov in southern Skonsk experienced what was known as the dancing plague.
Fascinating.
People began spontaneously dancing and they didn't stop for days. It was infectious. More and more people joined in. They literally danced themselves to death.
You're making that up. I mean, surely he's making that up.
You can look it up in an encyclopedia after the show, Prime Minister. I'm suggesting that if one amplifies this device sufficiently, it becomes a weapon, does it not?
What, make the enemy dance themselves to death? Well, that's hardly an effective military strategy, Adrian.
Or with a few garble adjustments, surely it could send an enemy encampment mad with rage or suicidal with despair?
We have no such plans, nor would Dr. Magnus and his team sanction such a use.
Think of it. At the flick of a switch, demonstrators are calmed, protesters pacified.
We would never use such a device on the general population.
And what of the commonality? In a society where this technology is commonplace, how would a citizen know whether the emotions they were feeling from minute to minute were even their own?
Insightful questions, as always, Adrian, but tonight is about an attempt to make people happier. And, well, we're here just to wish you all the very best of luck.
Back to you in the studio. Are we out?
Yep.
Ugh, motherfucker. How I hate his smug poshborough face and his nasty little questions and his fucking orthodontic metaphors.
Well, you'll be happier soon.
Yes, but it'll take more than a fucking resonator to cheer me up, I can tell you.
We'll see.
I'm going to need a whole fucking orchestra.
Your wife and children are outside, Prime Minister.
Fuckity wank. Is there a back exit?
Haha, Chester does like to fantasize. Anyway, this unnamed professor and I were, by pure coincidence, discussing the dancing plague of 1518, and she reliably assures me that the Blissgate circuitry will negate any concerns about such an eventuality.
But that is untested.
I can assure you that the T-tests are absolutely magnificent to behold. And besides, if we discovered any negative effects, we could simply turn the device off. It's not permanent, Adrian.
So you say?
You know, Mr. Blimey, I always thought that you were a man of intellect, a ruthless campaigner of precision and truth.
I am all of those things.
No, you're not. You're a grumpy old man who can't see the good in anything.
Manners, Chester.
No, I'm sorry, Dr. Magnus, but I'm really quite upset.
Well, I can see that. You're practically apoplectic.
Yes, I am. All you want is a little bit of happiness for a short amount of time. And you're a good man, Dr. Magnus. I know that. And if she can't give it to you, then I'll give it to you instead.
But is the human animal responsible enough for this type of technology? Do we have the
Shut
perfect
up,
capacity
Adrian!